welcome back, everybody. We have something that's a little bit a curveball for you guys. This is Foursquare 2007? 2005, sorry. This has been Bourbon Casked. You want to tell us a little bit about this?
So this is from Foursquare, one of the darling distilleries in the rum world for many. Richard Seal, cool guy, had a nice virtual kind of small meeting with him, tasting with him over COVID.
Oh, wow.
Super bombastic and very opinionated and strong-willed, and I really like the guy. He's very unapologetic about just making high-quality rum. Out of Barbados, this is vintage 2005, 12 years old. This was the second of the big vintages of they call it the Conceptual Cask series. There was 2004, which had a different kind of bottle, and I think there was even a 98 technically, but this is 2005, so this is a good one. They were kind of got put on the map when Fred Minnick said they're like the Pappy Van Winkle of the rum world. Which is not necessarily untrue.
That's important.
Yeah, and so it's kind of bourbon series we're doing here. It's a little curveball. This is a bourbon cask, but it's a rum. I think Richard said that they get all of their casks from Jack Daniels.
Okay.
Which is, Tennessee whiskey technically does qualify as a bourbon as well. I'm just curious what you guys think. Now we've had some bourbons, we've had some other kind of whiskeys, just kind of take it in a kind of different direction. But this is a very whiskey lover's kind of rum. It's a good entry into rum if you're a whiskey person. But it provides some different notes and some different flavors. My friend David Sujimoto at Aloha Whiskey, one of the top whiskey bars in Tokyo, he said he often will send his customers home with rum to finish up the night.
Nice.
I'm really curious what you guys think. I'm obviously a fan, but let's see. Ooh, nice cork bottle.
I mean, it's even bottled sort of like a whiskey, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And this is not like what you would see in a typical rum bottle.
No, not at all. I mean, I don't think so.
And so the thing is, too, is in the rum world, there's a lot of weird shenanigans going on. They don't know how the strict restrictions that Scotch has or that bourbon has.
Right.
It's the Wild West. They can add sugar to it. They can do all kind of crazy things with it. Richard Seal, he is very adamant about making quality product with the standards of these other high quality products around the world.
Oh, that's great.
And that's also why I think he's awesome. We're gonna make it this way. It's gonna be very straightforward, no additives. He created a group called like the Guardians of Rum, I think, something like that. And these distilleries around the Caribbean that have agreed to really hold the standard and bear the torch of quality. And really curious what you guys think. What do you think of the bottle?
Like, it fooled me at first because when we had it out, I was like, oh, we're doing all bourbons tonight. So to see it being a rum, which is really interesting, I think it makes it even more interesting that it's that way, right? Like you kind of mash those two worlds together. But I was thinking that, so is rum, do you do the same style that you do with like the bourbon to smell, to taste, to kind of go through this journey? Is it very similar?
I think
it's
worth trying.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the high quality aged spirits, they're all in the same family.
I'm curious what you'll think, because if your main experience with rum,
Bacardi's a mixer, or
right,
whatever it is, or some cheap, rum is a mixer into
I think
jungle juice.
Yeah, my old man was the Crown, right? Like the Crown
Royal.
Crown Royal, right? Yeah, that's what I used to sneak out of his pantry there. Oh, come on. What?
They use pot and column still blended.
So to be fair, this is treated much like a whiskey.
Yes, in this case, use molasses. So it's molasses through a pot and column still, throw into a bourbon barrel, throw up there in the tropics. And that's literally it's in Barbados. The weather is constantly hot and humid, so it ages differently. call it like tropical aging in the rum world versus continental aging, because sometimes we send it back to Europe, the continent, and we'll age it there. Somewhat of a blend.
I think I'm in love. Wow, I don't think I've ever smelled something like that before.
So what are you getting?
I mean, it's obviously sweet.
Also, the thing Richard pointed out was that, the sweetness in any distilled spirit, except for the ones that are shadily adulterated, or not shadily because it's allowed. There's no restrictions on rum or tequila, but when you have sweetness in his kind of, these kind of rums that don't add anything to it, or whiskeys and stuff, you get that sweetness. There's no sugar in it. The sugar doesn't survive the distilling process. It's just, it's these weird compounds that are tricking your brain basically. It's sweet, but it's not actually like sugar,
They're phenols that you associate with sweet things, but it's the same sense, but it's not coming from sugar.
It's like changing for me though.
Is it?
It was sweet there in the beginning.
I was getting tons of vanilla in the beginning, more so than the other bourbons we've had, whiskeys we've had. I always get this kind of like coconut note in a lot of rums. Not like a fake coconut, like Malibu rum or some kind of. But I mean, just kind of a coconutty kind of note, subtly. And now it's changing to more savory. You get a little tobacco.
Oh, that's what that is. Yeah.
And maybe leathers.
Leathery tobacco.
I couldn't
oak,
put it on there.
little herbs, like savory kind of herbs.
I might say there's a little bit of marshmallow.
I can get on board with that. But the orange, citrusy, fruity kind of thing, different, right? Not.
No, yeah. No.
I mean, there are fruit notes.
Yeah, but that is way different.
Ready to give it a go?
Yep. Cheers, everyone.
I'm getting a mashup of both worlds. Like both worlds colliding here. Like I'm on a ship in the middle of the ocean. I got the coconut, but I'm still getting like the bourbon flavors both together. It's really tasty. That is really good.
Changes what you think of as rum, right?
100%. Yeah.
What are you getting, Matt?
I mean, it's just sublime. I mean, I know many very well-known and trusted spirits drinkers and professional stuff that will argue that a well-aged rum might be the height of aged spirits. And this kind of, example of, like we've had these great bourbons, we've had, and we will have other great whiskeys, but it's just, I mean, there's a reason why there's like an aged vintage on it. He treats it like a very high luxury kind of classy product, not this cheap thing you throw in jungle juice.
Right.
And it deserves to be there. It deserves to be up there with the cognacs.
Yeah.
And it deserves to be up there with all the best scotches and everything else. It has a place on the table firmly. Yeah. It's so balanced. It's so put together.
Yeah.
It's just that sweetness and vanillas front. It goes into these savory kind of herby notes, and that coconut stuff, like you were saying, into the tobacco leather kind of thing. Just a nice velvety mouthfeel, like just coat your tongue. It's just,
this is so lovely to drink.
It's really lovely.
And like when you say vanilla has an association with being kind of basic, but like when you actually taste vanilla, like there is a very particular flavor. And even here, I mean, I don't want to sound too pretentious, but it like has a more like, it's more complex than just straight up vanilla. I mean, it's just a very pleasing, almost, yeah, it's just a great vanilla flavor.
It's just so well integrated. Everything,
Yeah.
all these different notes and stuff just really seamlessly. It's not like a choppy,
Yeah.
it's just this nice, smooth, like just
Yeah, I mean,
lovely.
it
melody,
does
like-
fit. It does fit with sort of like the Caribbean vibe, right? Where it's just like you're chilling. I mean, it's pleasing, like it's relaxing, and it's rewarding, right? Oh man, this is so good.
And this vintage 2005 is I think probably the majority of people would say 2004 was their favorite vintage, but there is a debate between 2004 and 2005. I really like 2005. I love this stuff. There's been a 2007, 2008, 2009. They're also all great, but I think this one to me is just real special. And there's a spice in somewhere towards the back. I got like a spice, that same kind of peppery.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And once again, let's go and check this out. It's 59%.
Yeah.
So it's
You're hitting.
a 118 proof. It's not low proof stuff.
Yeah.
Can you tell?
No.
I mean, it's just velvety on the tongue too. I love mouthfeel. Like, oh, actually,
It's opened up.
really, now I get a little bit of orange. Delicious. Different kind of sweet than bourbon or whiskey,
That, I mean, just like that first one though, that is so delicious. I didn't know you could mix those two worlds together, but wow. Cream of the crop for me tonight. And now even having that open up more, like that was, now I'm getting the orange, but the flavor, what I thought rum was, and now coming into it and seeing how it could be something that's different, something that's mixing, and got a whole new, like, opening up that world. I just thought that rum was very linear.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It's like you do not expect complexity and like a breadth of flavors from what's kind of like it's this and it's nothing. It's never going to be much more than that. And clearly,
Oh yeah.
you can do a lot. And I think that's probably the most exciting thing. Barreling changes everything.
Rum probably, in actuality, has more variety and styles than whiskey by far. I mean, we talked about how Scotch has certain boundaries and limitations, so does bourbon.
Yeah.
And they're not to say they're not complex or anything like that, but rum is made in more countries and more places in the world than any other spirit. It's worldwide.
Right.
It's in most countries. It's even in Africa, Asia, like every continent. Like they make rum, and there's different styles, and you could use different kind of sugar or cane or molasses to start with, and pot or calm distilled. They have old ones that are made in a lot of wooden stills still, and I mean, there's just such a breadth of variety of the process,
Right.
more so than any other spirit probably, and so it's definitely gonna be fun to kind of venture down that road.
Just to kind of wrap this one up for me, it has like just a really relaxed but interesting flavor profile, and like just that whole mouth roundness, and it's just satisfying, right? It's just very satisfying.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah. It's very hard to get something to be good and simple to me.
Right.
And it's the opposite is being complex, and there's tons there, and it's you're trying to decipher, but simple is hard. Simple is very hard, and to
Yeah,
me,
there's nothing to hide behind, right?
yeah, there's nothing there, right? Like you only have the few, and
Yeah.
those few better be good, know. And so I dial that in with like good ramen from Japan. There's 3 ingredients, right? So there are 3 very good ingredients if it's done well. This is in that same world to me. Like it's not complex at all. but it just opened up to me what I think rum, like I had no idea rum could be like this.
Have like a broad.
Yeah,
range of flavors,
I had no idea. But it wasn't complex. Like it wasn't crazy. It just was really, really enjoyable and just really tasty and simple. I like that.
Final thoughts, Matt?
Yeah, I actually think there is some complexity to it. It's not maybe as crazy as that 17-year we had this week or some scotches, but it does have these different notes that kind of. But the thing that is different is the way it just integrates together. It's on another level. It was much more just like, I don't know how to explain it. Other than it's kind of like, it's like luxurious. Like it's just so, it's lovely. I mean, it's so well balanced and soft, but even though it's high proof and put together, and the notes you do get, I mean, I get at least a dozen kind of different notes on there, but then they're just so seamlessly just woven together, and this nice smooth journey versus the other one you smell. It's like, oh, that, then oh, it's this. And it's like, that's, this one is just, it's lovely. And there's a reason it's a very kind of burgeoning category. It's really coming into its own. Some people speculate that this is the next big boom. Whiskey's booming and been booming. As whiskey prices kind of price people out of market, and then rum becomes the next value target. Tequila is also on the radar, mezcal. I think that's more in SoCal. Rum as a whole definitely could be on the radar. I know a lot of bourbon whiskey guys gravitating towards rum a little bit. The UK rum is huge, and bourbon guys have been hitting Foursquare. I think Fred Minnick helped push that a little bit because he has Rum Curious book, and he always touts, if you like rum, you should. If you like bourbon, maybe you should try some Foursquare kind of thing. It's a very whiskey lovers rum for sure. And it's fantastic. It's a different beast completely, but it is undeniably delicious.
All right, thank you guys. Next week we're going to Scotland, so that should be really exciting. Thank you for joining us this week, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.